shouted at each other and talked it over, and then we went back to work. He comes in to me because he'd been to India again, I think. He said, "Oh, I've got this song, it's like 7.5 time." Yeah, so, you know, he might as well have talked to me in Arabic, you know what I mean?
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, I say, it's all right.
And that's how I come off. I had to find some way that I could physically do it and do it every time so it came off on the time. That's one of those Indian tricks. I had no way of going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not my brain. So as long as I go, okay, that's 7, good, got it.
It was one of those beautiful spring mornings. I think it was April. We were just walking around the garden with our guitars, and that was I don't do that, you know. I'd only ever do. This was what George brought to the situation. He was just a magical guy, and he would show up with his guitar, get out of the car with the guitar, and come in and you'd start playing. And we walked around the garden. We sat down at the bottom of the garden, looking out over and the sun was shining, and it was a beautiful morning, and he started to sing. He started to sing "Here Comes the Sun," and the opening lines, you know, and I just watched this thing come to life.
Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, I say, it's alright.
What would you say you learned from each other?
I'd say we just learned a bunch of stuff. What it was, we'll never know. And I always liken us to like 4 corners of a square. People say, oh, you know, John and Paul were the important ones, and so. But I say, no. It's a square. Without any of those corners, you collapse.
The days that we spent as these Beatles, and we'll probably die as Beatles, you know, we understood it. No one else will ever understand that. And, you know, we actually understood it because we experienced it.
How did you feel when the band finally called it quits?
Oh, very difficult. We've done this a long time, and as I said before, you know, no matter how bad it was, and some days it was very bad in the studio, just the atmosphere and the tension and the distance, but we, you know, if the count-in came in, if someone counted it in, we all gave everything.
It was quite obvious that the Beatles gave us a vehicle to be able to do so much when we were younger, and we grew right through that, but it got to a point where it was stifling us. There was too much restriction, you know. It had to self-destruct. And I wasn't feeling bad about anybody wanting to leave. I wanted out myself. I could see a much, you know, better time for myself by, you know, being away from the band.